Maps are like windows to the world. They are flat representations of an area, whether it be a small town or the entire planet. Maps help us understand the world around us. They show us where things are located in relation to each other. We use maps every day. They guide our travels, help us learn about different places, and even help us understand the news. Imagine trying to get to a new friend's house without a map or directions. It would be very difficult. Maps make it much easier to find our way around. They show us the roads, landmarks, and other important features that help us navigate. Maps are not just for finding our way, though. They also help us understand the world around us. For example, a map might show us the different types of landforms in a region, like mountains, rivers, and deserts. By studying maps, we can learn about the geography of different places and how they are connected. Maps come in many different forms, each designed to show us specific information. Three common types of maps are physical maps, political maps, and thematic maps. Each type serves a different purpose. Physical maps show us the natural features of an area. These features might include mountains, rivers, lakes, and deserts. Physical maps often use different colors to represent different elevations. For example, brown might be used for mountains, while green represents lower-lying areas. Political maps, on the other hand, focus on human-made boundaries. These boundaries might include countries, states, or cities. Political maps also show major transportation routes, such as highways and railroads. These maps help us to understand the political organization of the world. Thematic maps are designed to show specific themes or topics. For example, a thematic map might show population density, climate patterns, or the distribution of different languages. These maps often use colors, symbols, and other visual aids to represent data in a clear and engaging way. Maps use a special language to convey information. This language is made up of three main elements: distance, direction, and symbols. Understanding these elements is essential for reading and interpreting maps effectively. Distance on a map is represented by scale. Scale tells us the relationship between distances on the map and actual distances on the ground. For example, a scale of 1 to 100,000 means that 1 unit on the map represents 100,000 units on the ground. This means that a centimeter on the map could represent a kilometer in the real world. Direction is indicated using compass directions such as north, south, east, and west. Most maps are oriented with north at the top. This helps us to understand the relative positions of different locations. Symbols are used to represent different features on a map. These symbols can be simple shapes like circles or squares, or more complex images like trees or buildings. Maps usually have a legend that explains what each symbol represents. Map scale is crucial for understanding the relationship between distances on a map and the real world. It essentially acts as a bridge between the two, allowing us to translate the small, manageable dimensions of a map into the vast, often overwhelming expanses of the real world. It allows us to measure distances accurately and to compare the sizes of different features. Without an appropriate scale, a map would be just a pretty picture, devoid of practical utility. Different scales are used depending on the level of detail required. For instance, a map used for hiking will have a different scale compared to a map used for planning a cross-country road trip. A small-scale map shows a large area such as a continent or a country. These maps are often used for educational purposes or for getting a general sense of geography. These maps are useful for understanding the overall layout of a region, but they don't show a lot of detail. They provide a bird's-eye view, which is great for seeing how different areas are connected. For example, a small-scale map of Europe might show the locations of major cities and countries, but it wouldn't show individual streets or buildings. This makes them ideal for planning long-distance travel or studying regional geography. A large-scale map, on the other hand, shows a smaller area in greater detail. These maps are indispensable for tasks that require precision and detail. These maps are useful for navigating within a city or town, or for studying specific features of the landscape. They help you find your way around and locate specific points of interest. For example, a large-scale map of a city might show individual streets, buildings, and parks. This level of detail is crucial for urban planning, emergency services, and even tourism. The choice of scale depends on the purpose of the map. Whether you're planning a road trip, hiking in the wilderness, or navigating a city, the right scale makes all the difference. If you need to get an overview of a large area, a small-scale map is appropriate. It helps you understand the broader context and make connections between distant locations. But if you need to find your way around a specific neighborhood, you'll need a large-scale map. This will provide the detailed information necessary for precise navigation and local exploration. Section 5. Finding your bearings, direction, orientation, and the compass. Understanding direction is crucial for using maps effectively. Maps usually have a compass rose or north arrow that indicates north. This allows us to orient ourselves and to determine the direction of other locations. The 4 cardinal directions are north, south, east, and west. They are often represented by the initials N, S, E, and W. Additionally, we have intermediate directions like northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. These provide more precise directional guidance. A compass is a valuable tool for determining direction. It works by aligning itself with the Earth's magnetic field. A compass needle always points towards magnetic north. By using a compass in conjunction with a map, we can accurately determine our direction of travel and find our way to our destination. When using a map and compass together, it's important to align the map with the actual landscape. This ensures that the directions on the map correspond to the directions in the real world. Section 6. Deciphering the code symbols on a map. Maps use a wide range of symbols to represent different features. These symbols can vary greatly depending on the type of map and its purpose. These symbols are like a code that we need to learn in order to understand the information on the map. Without this knowledge, a map can seem like a confusing jumble of lines and shapes. Learning to read these symbols makes the map come alive with information. It transforms a simple piece of paper into a detailed guide to the world around us. Common map symbols include those for roads, which can be depicted in various styles and colors to indicate different types of roads. Railroads, rivers, lakes, each represented with unique symbols that are universally recognized. Forests and buildings. These symbols help us quickly identify important features in the landscape. These symbols are often color-coded to make them easier to distinguish. Color coding enhances the readability of the map. For example, blue is often used for water features, green for vegetation, making it intuitive to understand at a glance, and black or red for roads. These color conventions are standard across many types of maps. In addition to these basic symbols, maps may use a variety of other symbols to represent specific features. These can include anything from historical landmarks to modern infrastructure. For example, a map of a national park might use symbols to indicate campgrounds, hiking trails, and points of interest. These specialized symbols provide valuable information for visitors. The map legend is an essential tool for understanding map symbols. It acts as a reference guide. The legend provides a key that explains what each symbol represents. Without it, interpreting the map would be much more challenging. By referring to the legend, we can decipher the code of map symbols and unlock the wealth of information that maps contain. This makes maps an invaluable tool for navigation and exploration. Section 7. From cities to buildings, the world of plans. While maps show us the broader picture of the world, plans provide a more detailed and focused view of specific areas. Maps can cover entire continents or countries, giving us a sense of the vastness and diversity of our planet. Essentially, plans are like zoomed-in maps with a specific purpose. They allow us to hone in on particular locations and understand the intricacies of those spaces. Unlike maps, which often cover large areas, plans typically focus on smaller areas like buildings, neighborhoods, or construction sites. This focus allows for a greater level of detail and precision. Plans are used for a variety of purposes, including architectural design, construction, and urban planning. They serve as blueprints for creating and organizing spaces. Architectural plans, for instance, show the layout of buildings, including rooms, walls, doors, and windows. These plans are essential for visualizing the final structure before construction begins. These plans are essential for constructing buildings and ensuring that they meet safety and design standards. Without them, the construction process would be chaotic and prone to errors. Urban plans, on the other hand, depict the layout of cities and towns, including streets, buildings, parks, and other infrastructure. They help city planners design functional and livable urban environments. These plans are used to guide urban development and to manage the growth of cities. They ensure that as cities expand, they do so in an organized and sustainable manner. The key difference between maps and plans lies in their scale and scope. Maps provide a broad overview, capturing large areas and general features. Maps provide a broad overview, while plans offer a detailed and focused representation of specific areas. Plans, on the other hand, delve into the specifics, offering a closer look at particular locations. Both are valuable tools for understanding and navigating our world. Whether you're exploring a new city or designing a new building, maps and plans are indispensable resources. Section 8. Maps. Essential tools for exploration and understanding. Maps are essential tools that help us explore, understand, and navigate the world around us. From simple road maps to complex thematic maps, they provide a wealth of information about our planet and its diverse features. By understanding the language of maps, distance, direction, and symbols, we can unlock the information they contain and gain a deeper appreciation for the world we live in. Maps can transport us to distant lands, guide our travels, and help us make informed decisions. Whether we're planning a trip, studying geography, or simply trying to make sense of the news, maps are invaluable tools that enrich our understanding of the world. As technology advances, maps continue to evolve, offering ever more detailed and interactive ways to explore our planet. Yet, the fundamental principles of map reading remain essential for anyone who wants to navigate and comprehend the world around them.